For a series that I never thought I would enjoy, to be visibly distraught by what it's become. My Hero has fallen off hard, and it was an incredible fall from grace that I'm not gonna lie, I always assume comes from these larger than life series like Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball. And yes, One Piece niggas, watch. Y'all think this shit was sweet for these last 2 decades? Wait until Oda drops the ball in the last arc and you'll be down on your knees crying. Now, My Hero, in my opinion, has always been a series with not a whole lot of depth. A lot of it suffers from what I call fairy tale syndrome. And if you don't know what that is, in the series Fairy Tail, they very much over-exaggerate the meaning of friendships. And of course, there are other series that have this same issue, but never quite to the extent of Fairy Tail. Where those other series differ is that the relationships are never the core of what makes that character thrive. The same can't be said for My Hero, as almost every character development has to include the obligatory "you're never alone because you've got us" speech, which very much ruins some moments. There is no reason Class 1A should have even gotten 2 feet next to Vigilante Deku. I don't give a flying fuck. The next issue being the ridiculous plot twist. In the final arc, there are more than a dozen times when All For One is literally crying, coming, throwing up, only to be like, "I got one more in me," and proceeds to drop this specific quirk needed to get out of this specific situation. And it's not just him, but he definitely has the most egregious display of it. It's very apparent that Horikoshi is trying to move the plot along to get to where the story needs to be, but that doesn't mean we can just sit by and let this shit slide, especially from a series that's in such high public eye and recognition like this one. That's why people dog Naruto's finale as well. There were too many conveniences going on that ultimately got us to where Kishimoto needed to go, but also tarnishing some of his appraisal in the process. Pacing has always been an issue when it comes to storytelling, and My Hero is no exception from it. But this final arc is all over the place. We go from watching Endeavor fighting All For One to Shiggy and Deku exchange, and then when Horo really gets to cooking, he diverts over to Uravity versus Toga. Why do you do that, bro? Fuck. You can't really get invested because in the next chapter, he will sling your ass over to another story, and not only will he do that, but he will keep you there for the next 20 chapters, followed by a break every 4th chapter. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. And I get Horikoshi doesn't want to leave any loose ends or any plot threads open, but bro, I promise you we don't give a fuck about General Criminal. I promise you we don't give a fuck about your rabbit. I guarantee you, if you make a poll for your fan base, we will say we want to see the main fights. We don't give a fuck about any of this other shit. And this is what it all really boils down to. The real problem with My Hero is Horikoshi. In light of recent events with me writing the script, MAPPA has been outed as not fairly treating their animators, and the same goes for manga creators as well. Maybe I'll make a video on that as well, but the manga industry is maybe even worse than what animation teams have to go through, as most shonen are weekly serializations and with incredibly small teams. They have to keep up this work or they face instant cancellation, and it is not easy being a manga author, so I am by no means trying to say it is. But Horikoshi is on record to say that he is purposely extending the series, meaning that in theory, he should have had a plot line of what he wants to do, but he is also pushing himself very thin. The manga has been taking a hit in recent chapters, from there being back-to-back breaks to even chapters having, I kid you not, less than 7 pages worth of content. This, on top of everything I said before this point, are all reasons as to why the overall performance of My Hero is failing. I just hope that it isn't the end-all be-all, and that My Hero can pull itself back out of the grave, that it dug itself before it's too late.